Today's topic is nutrition, work, and productivity with Veronica Yoo. So stay tuned. Welcome to the Q&A showdown. My name is Richard. Today's topic is we're going to talk about food, work, and productivity. And the Q&A showdown is a show about I touch different topics like life insurance, real estate, business, entrepreneurship, and much more. And I have guest appearances by professionals from different industries who share their knowledge. And today I have a special guest. Her name is Veronica. She agreed to be on the show, and as I thank her in advance. And a little bit about her: she's a nutritionist, she's an instructor, she is a book author. She has several books out. One of the books she has is 911 Detox. She has another one, Go Raw, Get Lean. And she has, I think, another one with Greg Swanson, which is called the Breakthrough Yo-Yo. And she is a WBFF professional athlete, which stands for World Beauty, Fashion, and Fitness. So it is my pleasure to have Veronica here. So Veronica, tell everybody who you are, what you do exactly, and we'll take it from there.
Great, thank you. That was quite introduction about me. So hi, Richard and everyone. I don't know how to start because I got into this health and fitness industry over 20 years ago. Only when I start because I was very, very weak and I was only 80 pounds. So yes, so I just wanted to be stronger, and then I just wanted to because I was in actually fashion industry, so I just wanted to actually get through day. That's why I just got into fitness industry. I started to train, and now what happened? I completely changed my profession as a nutritionist and functional medicine health coach, and I just teach my students and also coach my clients and patients, just like how I live my life. It's like I believe in lifestyle, so that's what I do. So some of the clients that they come to see me for weight loss because they have a hard to lose weight, and some of the clients they have a chronic illnesses. So actually they want to improve their lifestyle by eating properly and doing the right thing. So they come to see me. So I help them either one-on-one coaching or even group coaching, and also I help my student who is already in profession in this industry, like personal trainer and nutritionist, and they need every year the credit, right? So to get their just keep their license. So that actually I give them some workshop as well for a CU course. So that's what I do.
Okay. We're gonna dive into the questions. I know eating healthy. Well, everybody knows that eating healthy is very important. What during the day we know we need to eat 3 meals a day. What would you recommend for breakfast, dinner, lunch? What would be the proper meals for us to eat, for us to have energy and to be productive at work?
It's actually a really good question. We all think about the everyday meal is a good breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's been like that's usually, basically regular, typically people eat like a breakfast around like a 7 to 8 a.m. And some people they're too busy, they just on the go in a car, they drink something or coffee and some muffin, right? And then usually lunch is at work, they have like a 12 to between 1 or 2 p.m. That's what they have their lunch. And then dinner is usually when they finish 5 p.m. work, and then they eat like a 5:30 to up to 7 p.m., right? It's a typical meals. But to be honest, going through with like my experience with my clients and what I believe, you don't have to have a 3 meals. Some people, it really depends on your lifestyle, and or most of people, they actually plan their eating schedule according to their work schedule, right? And any event, they evolve with the work schedule. That's why most of people, when they go onto a meal plan, they do really well Monday to Friday. And then weekend, you know what? I don't have to go to work. So most of the people, they don't even want to wake up at the same time they used to wake up. Am I right? So sometimes, they kind of treat themselves, or they go out eat, and then they eat different times. So what I'm saying here, if you're not a breakfast person, you don't have to have a breakfast. And if you're not a person that like, eating late, then you don't have to have dinner. So what I'm saying is that whatever you eat, 2 meals or 3 meals, even some people 4 meals. When I was an athlete, when I compete, I used to have 4 to 5 meals a day because I have to squeeze all this macronutrient portion in a day of my meal plan. So it really depends what is your health goal, and like you have to really enjoy your meal as well. But at the same time, most importantly, you have to have a right nutrient. So that's the most important. So more, I wanted to say like it doesn't matter you have 3 meals or 2 meals. Like most important is do not graze every day, like every couple of hours, because that's not good. Some people, when they think about, I don't really eat a lot, Veronica, but the thing is like, yeah, actually I graze all day. Because what happens when you graze all day is every time you eat, you actually spike your blood sugar level, and it has to come down. It takes about like 1 to 2 hours to come down. When you come down, if you keep on grazing, you never have a chance to bring down your blood sugar level. So when your blood sugar level is always up, that's where body tend to deposit your body fat. So that's why a lot of people, they're sitting and then constantly grazing the meal. At the end, they realize, oh wow, you know what? Other place I'm fine, but I can keep on having belly fat, and I feel sluggish after eat. Those are the actually because of you always spike your blood sugar level. That's ended up the end, like you have a low energy level, and then you kind of you're not hungry, but you crave more like sugar and caffeine or even salt. That's what's happening. So I suggest that anyone who listen this one, think of this way. You know what? If I'm not a breakfast person, I'm not going to have a breakfast, but I'm going to hydrate myself, because remember this one: when you wake up in the morning, over the night, you are not really hydrating yourself. So your organs or the body is a little bit dehydrated. So the best thing you can do to yourself, just enough, just hydrate yourself in the morning. And then if you're going to start from your breakfast 11 a.m. or 12 p.m., that's great. When you have that, try to have whole food, like not processed. Like processed means like, it's the manufacturer that made it, right? So when you look at like, of course, bread, pasta, even cereal, and anything, just packaged food, stick to like whole food. Like you can go to farmers market or even anything, that food that when you look at the food that there's no nutrition label in it. So when you go buy carrots, I don't think that there's a nutrition label in it, right? Right. So you try to stick to those like whole food. Have like lean. This is like my experience, not only as an athlete and with my client. When I say it, it's better off for every meal you actually add into some protein, the good source of protein, quality source of protein, because the body, it takes energy to break down those protein, right? So, and then also it feels you really satiated. So it's good to have some protein every your meal. And then you have some phytonutrient, which is like plant-based, like some non-starch or starch carbohydrate, which is the vegetable. and they have some healthy fat. So that's what you have to stick to it. If you keep on going to like processed food and they added so much chemical and they added MSG, they add like you don't even know they have is a GMO or not. And plus, the most importantly, like they added those vegetable oil that like it's not good for your body down the road. It's have the carcinogen. It's people might like I'm not saying, but people might it can cause the cancer or other chronic illnesses. And the more importantly, let's say vegetable oil like a canola oil and sunflower seed oil. And all those vegetable oil is actually causing inflammation in your body. So when your body gets inflamed, the down the road it can actually causes some pain and even some disease. So you want to avoid that. So basically, you want to stay in the healthy fat. It can be like, if I give you some detail, it can be like avocado, coconut oil, and you can have like a grass fed, like a butter or ghee, or even like some nuts and seed. That's where you want to stick to. Even olive oil, you want to go for like extra virgin, first pressed olive oil. And those things are important. So like stick to just those those plant-based oil, and then some of the saturated fats, but it's actually a good source. So those kind of oil, if you stick to it, that's a healthy fat. So it's good for you. So that's what I wanted to tell you. Like there's no really time frame like oh don't eat after 8 p.m. or oh you cannot skip your breakfast. There's no rules. Everybody's different. So depends on how you feel. When you eat certain time, you feel great and you get result, and you have to stick to it.
Okay. I had planned some questions, but now you went in so many directions. I have to go into. You mentioned about protein. I wanted to ask you that before.
Okay.
What food has protein? Like maybe
Oh, okay.
yeah,
There is like a protein. Is there like an animal based protein? And there is a plant-based protein. So if you are not vegan, you can go on to the animal-based protein. But remember this one, like all the red meat or even wild game meat or even like poultry, like a chicken and turkey or even like fishes, they're all good. Just the fact that you have to focus on the source, the where it comes from. Is it conventionally grown meat or is it organically grown? Like, for instance, a grass fed. Is it fed with the grass? Or is it conventionally grown, which is like they inject antibiotic? They actually fed with corn or grains. Those are the difference. So if you choose organic grass-fed beef, actually is high in omega-3. So it's good for beneficial for your body. And then let's say if you choose like a chicken or turkey, even eggs, everything is like a pasteurized, it's like a organic, free range, those pasteurized, they are the you wanted to go to, you wanted to get that instead of just regular, just chicken. Those are the conventionally grown. So it's actually not good for your body. So that's what you have to think. If it's a fish, you want to go to wild caught fish. And the best source is like sockeye salmon. You can get some halibut. Even the sockeye salmon is high in the fatty acid, but actually that's a good high in omega-3, so which is good for you. So it brings down the inflammation as well. So you want to stick to that. And if you want to go for egg, it's the same thing. It's a pasteurized, organic, free range, pasteurized eggs. That's what you want to go for. So those are the animal protein source. And if you are vegan, there is like a tempeh, which is a fermented soybean, or just tofu that's also made from soybean. And you can also go to like a spirulina. It's coming from the sea, the ocean. It's like a sea vegetable, but high in protein. And beans, like especially black beans, has a really high in protein content. So you want to go for it if you are vegan. So that, or other nuts and seeds. So also there is a vegetable that we can get the protein, but vegetable protein is not active protein, so it's like it's very hard to absorb in your body. So that's usually vegan. They have a trouble to it, so that's why you have to stick to like beans and nuts and seeds. You know, that's going to be the extra source for you, the protein.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information. Um, Second, I wanted to ask you if someone is on the go, like some people, they don't have time to prepare food. They always eat out on the at the restaurant. What what do you recommend for them? Because if they want to eat healthy, but they're always on the go, so what do you recommend for them?
Right, that's a really good question because at the end of the day, like we all want to be healthy, you know, we want to eat good food. Like we really squeeze, we are so busy, like we have so many things to do. And some mom is like they have full-time job and then they have kids and then they do multitask and they got no time to take care of themselves. So especially handy is like I don't really suggest you to do like those like already pre-made protein bar or power bar. That's full of chemical and sugar anyway. So don't go for that. And if you can actually, if you have to eat out, but this day is a good, pretty decent when you go to restaurant, you can ask your server, you know, like you can get some like nice fish or even chicken, and then you can actually don't think always a salad is healthy in the restaurant because they add so much like stuff that you don't even know in there because they add so much sugar. There's a hidden sugar that's coming from those salad dressing. So if you want to stick to like a low carbs diet, you can do like order some protein and then ask them, can I have a steamed vegetable on the side? And then you can, or ask like, can I have just a salad, but I don't want a dressing. So can you give me some olive oil and balsamic vinegar? And every restaurant, they have that. And then you can ask extra like avocado as well. So you can eat that. That's the eating smart. And you can do that. Or sometimes if you want to add some uh, carbs, you don't care about low carbs, you want to have some carbs, just to try to have some brown rice. You can have some wild rice. They have that in the restaurant, like because we are not living in 1950 or 1960. We're living 2021. So now this day, it's a grain, especially white rice. It's like you're just eating sugar because they peeled all those fibers, so it's directly just get into your bloodstream, the sugar. So it converts as a sugar. So you wanna go for, if you wanna have grains, go for some beans and you go for some brown rice. You know, that's actually better because they actually they have like high in fiber content. So you can go for it. So those are the main choice you can go for. There's not much really different, but restaurant, if you request, they can actually give you that choice.
Okay. So if you miss, let's say you eat once during the day, do you still think someone will still have uh, a lot of energy during the day for them to be productive, like to have
I love this question because you know why, Richard? Because this day a lot of people they heard about intermittent fasting, right? So people do like a 16 and 8. So they eating window is like 8 hours and they have a fasting window is like a 16 hours. And there's a lot of benefit of doing mini fasting and those intermittent fasting. Because remember this one, even like when you look at the, do you like pets like cats or dogs or any animal?
I don't mind. I don't have personally,
Okay,
but I don't
okay.
mind.
It's like naturally the even animal when they are sick, they don't eat because when you're not eating, body try to heal itself instead of metabolizing your food. So actually, when you're not eating, it's helping you. So people think, oh, I haven't eaten like my lunch, so I have a low energy. No, actually not, because here's the thing. I don't know if this one can you can understand this. Human body even though you don't eat 40 days, you're not gonna die.
Yeah, but only just if you drink water but you don't eat for 40 days, right?
Absolutely. So human body, if we don't eat over 4 days, we don't drink, we can die. 4 days. So hydration is more important than actually, eating. And then what is most important before hydration? If we don't breathe more than 4 minutes, most of people will die. So breathing air is number one, oxygen, and then water, hydration, and then it's food. So if if you think like, oh, I'm so busy, I cannot eat, I might have to skip, what was the best strategy? Either you don't eat breakfast and then you just eat lunch and dinner, or you can just skip all day just to hydrate yourself and you can just have a dinner. You may gonna have more energy because I tell you one thing, where's the Silicon Valley, right? There's all those techie people, smart people, they're working there, right? Creating technology. And those people, when they actually create a new stuff, they go on fasting because they want that edge, that they want to alert their brain, their sharpness. And then you know what? They don't even eat. Because when you don't eat certain period, you actually increase your mitochondria in your brain. So actually, it's beneficial for you. So you actually get even better energy. So I don't know if it's too in depth of fasting, but like, don't worry about one meal skipping, you're not going to die. And actually sometimes it's better for you. But when you want to skip the meal, don't skip like eat breakfast, skip lunch and eat dinner. Don't do that. You're better off breakfast, you skip the breakfast and have a lunch and dinner, or just to skip like dinner, just to have a breakfast and lunch. So just to think that is like a spontaneous fasting, you can do that.
Yeah, I've done fasting. I do fasting from time to time. So
Awesome.
I'm still here, so I didn't die.
Oh,
and,
that's good.
and it's very, we don't talk, well, I don't know personally, but people don't talk too much about fasting, but
Mm-hmm.
fasting is very healthy. And
Oh, fasting is a very much a therapeutic for many people if they done right. Yeah. So yeah.
so if someone is wants to replace a meal because they don't have time to eat, what snacks that they could eat? What are the foods that they could eat, like to replace? Let's say they don't like fasting, but they need something in their body. What kind
You
of
know,
food?
I would suggest that because you don't have time to cook, then those like use those like a good quality of nuts and seed. They're high in the vitamins and minerals, and it's a healthy fat, and there's a protein as well. So grab some like almonds, grab some like walnuts. It's very high in omega-3, and what else like macadamia nuts, they're also high in vitamin B source. And so have those nuts with maybe, I personally, I'm not really big fan of a protein powder because it's like a protein powder company not gonna like me. But if someone is like really in rush, they can't, like I don't want to skip meal, then best to just have the clean protein powder. There is out there a few. So clean powder, protein powder, add into some coconut water because they're high in the potassium as well. So that, or just even water, you shake it, you drink it, and have some nuts on the side. That's gonna fill you up, and you can do that. Or myself, like I make in advance like a lot of bone broth when I have weekend. So I have my bone broth, and then I just leave it in my refrigerator. So when I just busy on the go, I just make my those thermal my bottle. I just add into bone broth, and I add like tons of turmeric and black pepper and then Himalayan salt, and I do it. That's gonna just give so satisfaction for myself. It's really satiated because it's a good protein and good fat, and those gelatin going to convert as a collagen in your body. So, I can do that as well. You can do that, and then some people just have even I don't mind to you have some bone broth with some like a carrot, raw carrots. You can actually do that, so you can have some beta carotene. And by having bone broth, there's a good fat, so you can actually convert those beta carotene in your carrots to vitamin A. So everything that you eat, like you have to think about how can I eat well so I can actually provide those nutrients in my body, in my cell, so I can thrive. That's what you have to think. So instead of just go by those already pre-made protein bar, just to at least have some, the solid food on the go. So that's the best way. Or if worse comes worse, you can make a protein bar at home. You know exactly what ingredient in it. So you don't have to have those fillers, right? You just have a protein powder. You're gonna have some, add some water. You're gonna add some almond butter, and then you're gonna add some little bit of tiny of like honey. So you make on your protein bar. So you can do that. So there's many ways to actually you can be healthy even though you don't have time.
Okay, you said something. You said how do you boom? Because I've never heard of that. Maybe
Bone broth is actually very good for you. Bone broth is very high in amino acid. So it's like myself, when I have to write a book, when I have to write all this content, sometimes like I don't have time to eat and I don't want to get up, and I just have like entire my job of bone broth. I drink it, and it's an excellent source of actually providing amino acid in your body. So what I do, I just tell you if you want to know how to make it, I just make it at home. Do you have like a slow cooker, like a crock pot?
yeah.
Oh, that's a so lazy way to cook, but it's excellent. So it takes 5 minutes to make it. And especially bone broth is excellent for actually seal your intestine, the gut lining, if you have problem with your digestive system. So it's actually good for you too. It's almost like it's a therapeutic drinks. So I just to go by like those pasteurized free range, the chicken feet, only feet, not even bones, just the feet, chicken feet. So I just add about like 24 to 25 chicken feet in the crock pot, and I filled with the filtered water, and I add some fresh rosemary because it's going to bring down the inflammation. It's number one, it's excellent herbs. So I added some rosemary, and I added through a few, one or two just large carrots. You don't even have to cut it. You just add in, and I threw some 2 stalks of celery, and I add a whole just red onion, and I add some garlics, and then I add some 4 cups of the quarter cups of apple cider vinegar, because you want to extract all those minerals from those bones, right? So you want to add some apple cider vinegar, and then you just cover the lid, and then you just turn on 20 hours, slow, low heat.
20 hours.
Yeah, and then you don't have to look twice. It's just 20 hours, just let it go. Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, when you finish, you just remove all those, you know what I mean, the bones and then just vegetable, and then just strain those broth, and then just put it in your glass jar, and then just cool down. And after just add into refrigerator. And then what happened next day, it looked like jelly. So what happened when you want to put it in your thermal, the hot this bottle, when you want to go out, you just add 4 to 5 tablespoons those jelly, and then you add hot water, and then put some turmeric, black pepper, and the Himalayan salt, and then you just go. It tastes amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. You can last those 24 25 chicken feet. If you make a bone broth, you can last about like a good 2 to 3 weeks, even though you drink every day, because it's concentrate jelly, right? So that's how you make a bone broth.
2 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Diet. Uh, a lot of people, I don't think I ever went on a diet, but a lot of people uh, do that. What's your take on that? What's your advice? What would you say to someone who wants to go on a diet?
You know what, Richard? A lot of people, they, when they don't feel good and they want to change something, they want to go on to diet. And many clients, they come to see me for diet plan as well. But I always tell them, if you want to go into the diet, make sure that the diet is like you can do it. And you can actually, when you look at the diet, you know what? I can eat like this rest of my life. I'm good with it. Because at the end of the day, the health is like it's a consistency. You have to do it every day. And we eat every day. So if you want to choose a diet that actually you enjoy every your meal, and then you can sustain that. If you're going to do 1 month diet and you're going to get off, then just don't start it. Eventually it's going to be yo-yo. Most of people, they go on diet, why? They want to shed some body fat or whatever. They want to build some muscle or gaining some weight, whatever that is. When you choose the diet has to be in your lifestyle. Otherwise, the people, they do all the time, they lose 5-10 pounds and then they gain back and then they go back and they gain back because it's not sustained. They can't do it every day. So at the end of the day, when you pick the choose, so you're better off try to change your lifestyle instead of just going to diet. That's what I want to tell you.
So it's really interesting what you said. So if someone, you said a diet is a lifestyle. So let's say someone wants to start, so they want you, let's say they start, they do it for 1 month or 2 months, but if they want to keep the same level, like the weight, so it has to be like a lifestyle. So they can't like yo-yo, go up and down and
No, you don't want to do that because once you decide to do, okay, let's say for instance, I want to lose, for instance, like I want to feel good, I want to increase my energy level, and I want to lose, for instance, 20 pounds. And you're going to start looking at your calorie, macro, nutrient, and, you try to get rid of your junk food. Don't make it complicated. As someone who want to start, it's just the first thing you have to do. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all this junk food. And I'm going to actually increase my water intake or hydration. Most of people, anyway, they are dehydrated. And then you're going to say, you know yourself what's your bad habit. How many times you order pizza every week? Or, you know what I mean? Like how many times you have fast food? Just get rid of all those things first. Just eliminate those things. And then just to try to eat whole food. By doing so, you're already going to lose 5 to 10 pounds. And then from there, and then you're going to feel better, and they continue to do that, and you feel like you're boring, you're eating something. And you know what? Then just to find something, you know what? I like something crunchy stuff, but salty food, but I don't want to have chips. Then you know what? Try to find food that like a dehydrated food. Something healthy version. You can go for it, like a kale chips. You can go for like coconut chips. You can go like that instead of going to just those hydrogen, just oil, like those chips, potato chip. Most of people love potato chip, but that's actually not good for you. And study even show that people constantly eating potato chip, they have over 75% of people they actually get the cancer down the road. So you want to eliminate processed food first, and then just to have whole food. And then from there, time to time, you know what? You go birthday party, you go actually some, any Thanksgiving is coming anyway, so that you can treat, well, just the one meal. That's fine, right? So let's say, Richard, do you eat like 3 meals a day or 2 meals a day?
2 meals a day, maybe.
Okay, so you eat 2 meals a day. So let's say 7 days, you eat like 14 meals, right? 7 days, you eat 14 meals. So 14 meals, let's say if you had one meal, kind of, you had bad meal. Most people, bad meal is like what? Processed food, or you had some dessert, or you have some pizza. It's not so bad. But when you eat bad every day and then you have one good meal a week, it's not so good for your health. So you have to think about that one. So don't go to like a strict diet when you do that, because it's not realistic. So eventually you're going to break your diet, and then you're going to feel guilty, and then you want to start all over again. When you feel bad, you actually doing more. That's how we work, our brain. So instead of going those vicious cycle, the pattern, breaking diet and going back, it just to eat, just to get rid of just junk food. If you really want to have junk food, just to choose one day and just one meal, and the rest of the other day just to try to stick to like a whole food. That's a better diet than, just to go under like a 900,200 calorie and then starve yourself, and then the end, you know what I mean? Like you binge, the food. That's not good.
Okay. Final words. What advice would you have on nutrition, work, and productivity?
Okay, so this is really my experience with my client. Most of my clients, they have their own profession, and then most of people also, they actually do their own business, and it's their experience. When they feed themselves good food and they feel better, and you know what, they say, look at, oh, Veronica, my business actually went up 25% by taking care of myself. And I always tell people, work is important, everything is important, but most important is when you lose your health, nothing is matter. So wake up in the morning, the first thing, the first hour, spend time for yourself, which is taking care of your health. It can be nutrition, it can be even exercise, anything. Anyway, it's a hand in hand. Exercise and nutrition hand in hand. Do something for yourself every day, even though it's within 30 minutes. Do something for yourself. And then I wanted to tell you this one. Do you sleep well? Sleeping is so important, because if you have quality sleep, you have like a good quality 6 to 7 hours of sleep every night, you're going to have a good energy next day. When you wake up in the morning, you feel fresh, you're good, because when you are sleeping, the body heals. So you can go into your work and it's going to be a lot more productive. So that's what actually wanted to tell you. Nutrition is important, but don't forget moving your body, and you know what? Having good night's sleep. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Veronica. This was very interesting. We need to do that again because there was a lot of information.
Yes.
Still gonna have to replay a few times to get all the information because there was a lot.
Uh-huh.
For sure, I'm gonna invite you again very soon. We need to do this. And where can we find you on social media or website? I'm gonna leave at the end of the video. I'm gonna leave some information for people if they want to reach you or have more
Mm-hmm.
information. Where can people can find you?
Oh, you can find me, but if you want to contact me, you can contact me. My website is makeovernutrition.com. That's my website. You can contact me through there. And also social media, you can find me YouTube, Veronica Yoo. You means YOO. And also you can find me Instagram, Makeover Nutrition by Veronica Yoo. And also you can find me the LinkedIn. That's actually, where you found me, right? So you can find me from Veronica Yoo there. So That's my main, or Facebook, Veronica Yoo. So everything is Veronica Yoo. When you just type in Veronica Yoo, I'm going to appear there. So yes, I would love to connect with everyone.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Veronica. Like I said, I'm gonna have some information at the end of this recording. So this was the Q&A showdown. It was the topic on nutrition with Veronica Yoo. Thank you very much, Veronica, for taking the time to do this with me and to accept my invitation. And everybody, on that note, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you another time on the Q&A showdown. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Veronica.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. My pleasure.